I don't know how. I have 3 cameras on here supposedly, but I'm only able to work one. And what's really interesting, no matter what you do with items, when it comes back to you, no matter how long on a time belt you have moved away from one another, it always comes back to you once you have put your anointing on it. And what's got me really interested is that I have this phone, and I promise you, it's got to be 26 years ago I had this phone. I don't know what happened if somebody stole it or it got packed up in some items, but if this is not the exact device, it's very, 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 very identical because I got the phone, and at that time, I believe I just thought it was just too much. I won't tell you on the open form, but on the closed form where you all pay, I'll tell you the brand of the phone. And it's gnarly. However, when I started interacting with it, with a gentleman telling me he gifted it to me, come to find out, I'm like, wait a minute, I remember having a phone like this before. And then I talked with him, he was like, it is your phone. And I'm like, oh. But anywho, there is chunks of memory that has been so deeply embedded in my membrane that it made me insane. And I'm mentioning that and being forthright because I'm not ashamed of being insane. I'm not ashamed of having any type of mental break in my cranium, in my brain, for my cells to be able to progress and grow. So, very to the concise point, I'm going to let you guys know this. In order for a person that is born normal and not a prodigy, which I am, you have to go to the break of psychosis, a psychotic break, and then you go into geniusness and brainiac. And this is imperative for you all to be educated on one. And again, when you guys pay, I will give you the more skinny on it. However, on this beautiful Monday on July 7th, I want to make certain that you guys know this and you know it and you hear me and you're educated on it and you can articulate it in your words. This is why I'm doing these lives more frequently and uploading them, because I do not want people to be in the posture that they cannot articulate the state of being that their temple is in. This here is the most magnificent machine that you'll ever interact with in your life, and I am quoting that from the Honorable Physician Karen Calabrese. She owns a number of restaurants in the Chicagoland area where she provided raw, vegan, and healthier choices for people to take. And I took a nutrition class from her, and I'm telling you that certification has catapulted me so far. And I originally discovered her from a gentleman by the name of Alex. I forget his last name, but by trade on the scale side, he is a glacier. And I'm saying that because he has many trades and many talents and gifts. However, when he told me about Karen, I was like, okay, and I wound up moving down the street from her with part of my family. And I would walk to her place. It was not very that much close, but unfortunately I was at the ground level again where finances was not plenty. So it was about a 4 block walk each way turned into 8 round trip. And I would go there and just talk with her. And then eventually the opportunity presented itself where I was able to chat with her. And I was in awe because when she walked up to me, she had on a blazer, some jeans, and some shoes that were casual, business, dressy. And it just jolted me because I used to dress like that growing up on the East Coast. And I felt when I began to look at her skin, because I can map, I can look at your skin and tell you like, oh, you're from this tribe, or you have this lineage, or you have this creed, or you're part of this culture. And I'm like, I saw my grandmother's hands, or at least, excuse me, one of my grandmothers, because I had many and I've grown up with many of them before I was the age of 10. And it was very interesting because I'm like, I don't know. Now, that's not her maiden name. No, that's her married name. Well, I would appreciate that because she's never discussed it. She had taken a liking to me, but then she became very distant, and that was because of some of her immature family. I don't know if it was her in-laws or her daughter. Her daughter is in the entertainment business on the level of filmmaking and modeling, and she was as well. She said she retired and she got more full throttle into the healthcare. And then she had a son that passed, and I think she has another son. But she'll tell me, it's like, she's not like one of them people to be like, oh, I can't say it. She might be close to her 70s now. But I had a book by the name of Soak Your Nuts. So if you guys see that out there, there was a sheet inside, but she autographed it to me, and I went to her West Loop restaurant for a book signing, and she had popcorn that was not regular popcorn, shrimp that were not regular shrimp. And I'm telling you, her almond pate is just to love for. So I never was able with the schedule, and like I said, being pushed away from my finances and blocked from people who are very rude and uncouth, because I thought it was coming from the castle, and the castle to me is my mom, my father, or even their parents, but it was other people just manipulating. And then come to find out, most recently, now this is probably 30 years later, I was educated that they had just been holding my money in trust because they claimed that I was mentally incapacitated to handle it, which you could be with somebody 5 minutes and you know they're not. However, when Gnarls Barkley, shout out to CeeLo, made the song, it's not that I didn't know enough, I just knew too much. And I want to let you guys know on this 2025, and when you added up numerology, it comes to 9. And giving you some insight that I normally charge for, I'm going to give you a snippet. The year the 9 means that every living, every vessel, every existing inanimate object is online, where anything you want to know, you can know it. Anything, everything you want to know, you can know. Simply by pondering, asking, meditating. Now, we were created as human beings. Hu, that has a meaning in another language, in Sanskrit. Man has a meaning as in, you know, the people that are viewing and the people that is facilitating this workshop. Be is everybody beings. And it goes into the whole putting together of letters. And so for people to claim that they know you better than they know yourselves, and that they can tell you what to do by stuffing medicine that is advertised as medicine, but which really is not medicine. It's really a blanket Band-Aid. They have no right. And you must tell them, and if you like, you can give me a call at 872-370-2488. Or you can email me, which is listed in the information tab of my link. And I will go through a process with you, and we'll see if it will work, if it'll be a two-way street for you to become a client of one of my businesses. But I would just want you to know, never let anyone give you the belief that you are not great enough to be a boss, because you were gifted your temple because you can handle it. Your temple is your body. You are the first minister. You are the first line of defense, and you are the first weapon of mass destruction. So when you allow people to storm your castle and pull a coup d'etat on you, you give them more than they can handle. And more times than not, when they do gain that over you, they drop the fucking ball and it shatters. And it's time that we are compensated for that bullshit. Love you much, dolls. Signing off, Lady Sunshine.